It is a Cristiano Ronaldo interview with Piers Morgan.
This is Piers Morgan Uncensored, and this is the interview the entire world has been talking about. Cristiano Ronaldo, one-on-one.
1v1.
From London, this is Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Okay.
Welcome to a special edition of Piers
Hyping
Morgan
up.
Uncensored. Cristiano Ronaldo is a football megastar. In my opinion, the greatest player to ever grace the game. He's also one of the most famous people on the planet. He's had the toughest year of his life, on and off the pitch, facing personal tragedy and a barrage of criticism from fans, pundits, even his own coaches. Everyone else has had their say. Now, it's his turn. And Cristiano is most definitely uncensored. Cristiano, let me start just by asking you, why are you doing this interview with me?
Because I think it's the time to say something.
He's been holding it
Because I
back.
like you. As simple as that.
Well, don't say that in public. Well, I like you too, and I appreciate it, because I think that you've had to sustain a lot of criticism this year in particular, probably more than at any stage in your career. And I think it's time to set
I
the
have no
record
idea what happened.
and to clear up a few things, not least, I suspect, for the fans of Manchester United. You must be wondering what the hell's been going on.
Oh, as I say many times, the fans, they always,
Trouble with
I'm always
Manchester
gonna
United.
say good about them. They are the most important things in the football. You play for them. They're always in my side. I feel that every time when I walk in the streets, the fans coming to me and they appreciate what I did, what I do for football. And for me, it's the most important in football. The fans, for me, is everything.
I want to take you back to last summer. You're at Juventus, and there's massive speculation about where you're going to go. And the big rumour is that you're going to go to Manchester City. So first of all, how close was that to happening?
Well, honestly, it was close. It was close. It's something that they spoke a lot, and Guardiola say 2 weeks ago, I guess, that they try hard to have me. But as you know, as my history in Manchester United, your heart, your feeling, the history that you did
history
before, make the difference. And of course, as well, Sir Alex Ferguson. So I was surprised in the same way, but it was conscious decision because the heart speaking loud in that moment.
You were a Manchester United legend. So when you say your heart led you, it's because of that, the history you had with the club and the relationship you maintained with Sir Alex, with the fans.
I think it was the key. It was the difference in that moment. But I cannot be loyal if I would say that Manchester City wasn't close. But I think I did conscious decision. I don't regret in some point. And as you mentioned before, Sir Alex Ferguson was the key.
Did you speak to him before you
Yes, I did.
He's
Yes, I
been
did.
to
I spoke
Manchester United.
with him. And
what did he say to you to try and persuade you?
he said to me that it's impossible for you to come to Manchester City. And I say, okay, boss. So I took the decisions, and I repeat I was with conscience that it was a good decision.
You came back, and it couldn't have started better. You played at Old Trafford. Yeah, you won 4-1 against Newcastle. You scored twice. Sir Alex was there, loving it, obviously, the return of the prodigal son. Your mother was there, the return of her own son. Your mother was crying, obviously.
Obviously, yes.
But what a comeback. How did that feel that day when you came off the pitch?
Well, that feeling was amazing, but not only the day of the game. I felt before the week before that everything changed. The world speak about me, Cristiano, back home, back where they belong. So it was a special moment to be back to Manchester United, to perform for our fans, and of course to score 2 goals was the best welcome that I received in Old Trafford. It was a memorable day and unbelievable day too.
The Viva Ronaldo chant went up.
Yes, Viva Ronaldo.
You like hearing that?
Be back. Of course I did.
Yeah.
As I told you before, the fans for me, they are everything.
2 things happened, I think, within 24 hours of you re-signing for United. One, you broke the all-time record for shirt sales in 24 hours. You actually beat a guy called Messi at PSG.
Okay.
You must have been happy about
Good
that.
one.
Of course I do. As you know, I don't follow the records. The records follow me. So it's good. Another one in my book.
And the other one was the Manchester United tweet announcing that you were rejoining the club was the most tweeted or most liked tweet, I think, in Twitter history.
It's good. As I told you before, it was a good moment. Nobody expect, because things change around, in my opinion, in 72 hours, which is you plan, or they spoke, not only Manchester City but other clubs too, spoke about your name, that you will change Juventus for another club. But Manchester United wasn't there, wasn't in that pot of that teams, but surprised everybody, even me, to be honest.
After a few weeks, things weren't going well at Manchester United. The club just wasn't firing. And in the end, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the manager, got sacked. And that's within like 2 months of you coming back. What were you feeling about what was going on at United? And what did you feel generally about the club itself and the state that the club was in compared to when you'd been there before?
Piers, to be honest, when I signed for Manchester United, I thought everything was changed, because it's 13 years that I changed. I was in Real Madrid 9 years and 3 in Juventus. And when I arrived, I thought everything will be different, you know, the technology, the infrastructures and everything. But I was surprised
Right.
in a
Not
bad way,
sense.
let's say, in that way, because I saw everything was the same. And Manchester, it wasn't,
that in
in that moment that, as you mentioned, that Oli was sacked. Michael Carrick, he assumed the job for 2 games, Villarreal and Chelsea away. And everything was so fast, but surprised me a lot. Instability in the club. Everything was kind of the same that I
It hadn't moved on.
No, they stop on the clock, in my opinion, which is something that surprised me. I didn't expect. And slowly they start to change, even the windows, the new players, and was tough. It was tough for me because I didn't expect that. And
Because when you were there before, if Manchester United wanted a player under Sir Alex Ferguson, they normally got their man. Right now, it's a very different environment. After many years of failure since Sir Alex retired, United weren't getting the top players anymore. So were you surprised by that dynamic changing as well? Because you would have been used before to them, if they wanted top players, they got them.
I was surprised. I thought when I signed, that they signed in that year, Sancho and Varane plus me, that things will be in the way that Manchester should be. As you mentioned, well, Sir Alex Ferguson left a big gap in the club. Not only Sir Alex Ferguson, but one person that I thought make the difference, David Gill, the president, a very, very good man. And the structure around Sir Alex Ferguson was very important too. I knew that Manchester United wasn't the same, but I don't see that it was so big gap, so big things that go through by the last 10 years. And it was the thing that surprised me more, to be honest.
It was little things like even the swimming pool that the players use, the saunas, all these facilities. Nothing had changed since you'd left in 2009.
Nothing changed. Surprisingly, not only the pool, the jacuzzi, even the gym. Even some points, the technology, the kitchen, the chefs, which is I appreciate, lovely persons. they stop in a time which is it surprised me a lot. I thought I will see different things, different, as I mentioned before, technology, infrastructure, but unfortunately we see many things that I'm used to see when I was 20, 21, 23, so surprised me a lot.
You'd also, of course, as you said, you've been at Real Madrid and Juventus, where you saw them moving all the time to progress with technology, the latest thing, to improve performance levels. So you were able to compare what you'd experienced there with
Some
what was not
examples of
happening at United.
the bad
In
technology,
United, the progress was
infrastructure and
in my
all.
opinion, to compare with Real Madrid and even Juventus, that they follow the recent world. So the technology, especially the terms of training, nutrition, and conditions of eat properly and to recover better than before, surprised me. Manchester right now, to compare with that club, I think it's behind, in my opinion, which is something that surprised me. A club with this dimension should be in the top of the tree, in my opinion, and they are not. Unfortunately, they are not in that level, but I hope the next years they can reach to be in a top level.
Up next, Ronaldo's scathing verdict on what's gone wrong at Manchester United.
Yeah, okay.
When you look at, I mean, United have had some of the best managers in the world follow Sir Alex Ferguson, and they've all been relative failures compared to other stages of their careers. Do you think that partly that's down to the structural element of this, that there just isn't the support that top managers need?
I don't know what's going on, but since the Sir Alex Ferguson left, I saw not evolution in the club. The progress was zero. For example, we have an interesting point that how the club as Manchester United, after Ole, they bring sport directive Ralph Rangnick, which is something that nobody understands. This guy is not even a coach. A bigger club like Manchester United bring sport directive. Surprised not only me, but all the world, you know.
Well, it was a ridiculous decision, wasn't it?
Of course, in my opinion, you have to be honest. If you're not even a coach, how you gonna
The guy
be
no
the boss of
experience of
Manchester United?
coaching.
Something that I should see that Manchester is not followed not the right way to reach successful like other teams, like for example Liverpool or Manchester City, Chelsea. They are one step behind or two because of this kind of mistakes. In my opinion, they should improve and change probably the staff or the people, the directives or presidents. I don't know who is the problem there, but since
Did
that
it show a lack of
Going
ambition
back to the
when they
one
replaced
as
Ole Gunnar
members.
Solskjaer, who a lot of fans liked, but he obviously wasn't delivering the big titles that United wanted and were used to. But to appoint someone like Ralph Rangnick, I mean, I'd never heard of him. And I'm thinking if had you heard of him?
No, of course not.
You'd never heard of this guy.
Nobody, and the people who I speak, nobody knew it. Who is him?
And suddenly did you call him the boss?
Of course, I respect. We have to call because he assumed the job. Regardless, all the coaches that I had in my career, I call them boss because if they assume the job, you have to call in that way. But in the end, deep inside me, I never saw him as a boss because I saw some points that I never agreed, and he stopped in a time as well because if you're not being a coach, the next 5 years you're gonna lost the identity of to be a coach. So surprised me a lot. But in the same way, don't surprise me a lot because if you see the structures, they keep it the same. So the coaches didn't surprise me, but was a tough moment.
What was extraordinary was very quickly after Rangnick took over, started briefing journalists that you weren't pressing enough and that maybe it would be a good idea if you moved on from the club. And I'm like, who is this guy? Why is he saying this to the man who's scoring the goals?
To be honest, Piers, it's something that I don't understand. It's the new coaches that coming around, they think they find the last Coca-Cola in the desert, which is I don't understand. The football there invents many years. So, but I respect any coach have a different approach, different opinions, different mentality, but kind of some points that
obviously
you not agree. So I'm always like that in my life. I'm always been besides the best coaches in the world, Zidane, Ancelotti, Mourinho, Fernando Santos, Allegri.
playing out the problem.
So I had
Of
kind
course,
of some experience because I learned from them. And when you see some coaches that they're coming, that they want to revolution the football, I not agree. I have my opinion. They agree or they disagree, but it's part of the business because in the end of the day, I'm in a club to win. And with my experience, I want to help, like always. And some coaches that don't accept. And, it's part of the job.
Did he know what he was doing, Rangnick, or not? At a club like United?
No, they don't.
No?
They knew with the club very well, but they don't know the dimension of the club inside, the history of the club, which is for me surprised me even more, which is when the soccer, Ole Solskjaer, you should bring a top manager, not sport director.
Did you think it was right to get rid of Solskjaer, or would you have kept him on?
Well, it's not. I love Solskjaer. I think he was a top person because what I keep inside my heart, it's the heart of the persons, and Ole for me is a top person. Coach, of course, he wasn't. He didn't look for what he wants. It's hard to assume after Sir Alex Ferguson, but I think he did a good job. For sure, he need more time, but I'm never doubt that he's going to be a good coach in the future. But it was a good experience. I was so pleased to work with him, even a short period.
What about the younger players and specifically their mentality? Because it seemed to me, just from what I was reading, when you were originally at Manchester United as a young 18-year-old, that you had huge respect for the older players, the Keanes and these guys in the dressing room, and you would soak up their experience, their wisdom and so on.
No, they no
Did you
respect.
get that same respect, do you think, from the younger players?
I don't mean that they don't respect the experienced players or the oldest players. I don't think that word is the best one, but they live in a different era. I can see my kid, they're 12 years old. The mentality, they are not the same. They are not suffer that.
What's the difference?
The anger. I think the anger. I think that they have the things more easily. Everything it's easily. They don't suffer. And I think they don't care. I don't mean only a few in Manchester United, but all the teams, all leagues in the world, the youngers, they are not the same of my generation. But we cannot blame them because it's part of the life, the new generation. The new technologies, they avoid, they distract them for another thing. So, but they are not the same. They listen, but this is why we have 2 years. You listen from one side and they go away from another side. So don't surprise me, but in the same way, it's a little bit shame because if they have the best examples in front of your eyes and if they don't at least copy what you did for me, it's kind of weird because I remember when I was 18, 19, 20s, I'm always look to see best
he's
players,
kind of an exceptional person, so
and
you cannot hold everyone to the same standard.
Longevity, because I take care of my body, my mentality, my head, because I see these guys and I learn from them.
When you try and give advice to these younger players, what do you say to them? What do you try and guide them to be like?
I think the best advice, I'm not the kind of guy to like to give advices. I prefer to be as example.
too humble.
Because I'm an example. I'm there every morning. I do the same stuff. I'm probably the first ones to arrive and the last ones to go out. I think the details speak for itself. So, because as I told you before, they listen one thing and in 2 minutes they already forgot and do it whatever they think it's better. This is why I say I like to lead by example. And some ones, they follow me, not much, but...
See, I just find that incredible. That if I was a young footballer and I had Cristiano Ronaldo at my club, that I wouldn't want to spend every second watching him, listening to him, observing the way you go about your business. And yet from what you're saying, clearly they're not interested.
They don't care. Someone, yes, but most of them, no. But for me, it's not surprise me. Don't surprise me because they're not going to have longevity careers, in my opinion. It's impossible. It's impossible to see, for example, my generation, you see many players, they reach 36, 37, 38 in a high level. I think this generation, you're going to count by your hands how many going to reach in that level. Because these years of preparation, it helps a lot.
Who are the players in the world that you most admire for their mental strength, their attitude?
It's a difficult question because I'm always can say what I see from my eyes. For example, if you tell me what I see, for example, in Manchester United, I can mention probably Dalot, Diogo Dalot. His example is young, but he's very, very professional. And I'm not doubt that he's gonna have longevity in the football because he's young, he's smart, intelligent, and he's very professional. You have a few ones more, but like him, it's difficult to say. Probably Martinez, Casemiro's 30s, but I will say Dalot.
Coming next, Ronaldo opens up on the toughest moment of his life.
Toughest moment. Interesting. I had to skip that. Okay. I was playing.
So Rangnick's come in, it's your second manager, it's not working, the results aren't great. You're still scoring goals regularly for Manchester United. You're about the only one who is. But then you get hit by an awful episode in your life, probably the worst time of your life, where your partner, Georgina, she's pregnant with twins and is actually giving birth to these 2 babies. And your baby son doesn't survive. And I don't think I can imagine, I have 4 kids, you have a lot of children. You know, you can't imagine a worse thing to happen than to go a full term of a pregnancy, particularly for the poor mother in that case, but also for you. What was that like for you, that time in your life?
It's probably the worst moments that I passed through my life since my father died. You know, when you have a kid that you expect that everything will be normal and you have that problem, it's hard, you know. As human being that I am, me and Georgina, we had quite difficult moments because we don't understand why happened to us. Was difficult, to be honest. Was very, very difficult to understand what's going on in that period of our life. As you know, the football carry on. They are so fast, many competitions. The football don't stop. We have many competitions. And pass through in that moment was probably the most difficult moment that I had in my life. Me and my family, especially Gio, that was tough.
She said she was giving an interview about the new series of her TV show. And she said in an interview, a big piece of my heart shattered. And I asked myself how I could carry on. I had the answer nearer than I thought. I looked into the eyes of my children, and there I saw the only way of doing it, being all together.
Yeah, I saw too. Yeah, this is why what we did. I grew up my family, especially Gio, and we had the difficult moments, but we say, listen, we have more kids. We have one that born, Bella, that we have to be happy too.
I mean, such a difficult situation again, where you're mourning the terrible loss of your little baby boy, but also celebrating the birth of your beautiful daughter.
I try to explain sometimes to my family
and
close friends. They say, I never felt to be happy and sad in the same moment.
Yes.
I never felt. It's hard to explain.
So difficult.
So difficult. You don't know if you cry or you don't know if you smile.
Yes.
Because it's something that you don't know how to react. You don't know what to do, to be honest. And of course, I remember very well that I look like, I don't know the word to define what I felt in that moment, but it's crazy feelings, it's crazy emotional. But as I told you before, I have to hold that we had at least Bella,
yes,
which is the most important. One die and one survive, but it's difficult to explain.
How did you explain it all to your other children? They must have been so confused about it.
In the beginning, Gio arriving home and the kids start to say, where's another baby, where's another baby? Of course, Cristiano, I had conversation with him in the day, because he's 12 years old, he knows, he understands everything. And I had a nice conversation with him. We cried together in his bedroom, and he explained, and it's kind of, he didn't understand. He understand, but in the same way, he was a little bit confused. The other ones in the beginning, in the table, the kids start to say, Mom, where is the other baby, blah, blah, blah. And Gio, in the beginning, they start to say, because, you know, she had a little bit belly, because they had two, it's hard process. And after 1 week, I say, you know, let's be frontal, let's be honest with the kids. Let's say that
being honest,
which is the name, they go to the heaven. It's better to say in that way.
Yeah.
And we start to use in that way. And the kids always understand when we had shots in the table, and they say, Daddy, I did this for Angel, and they point out for the sky, which is I say, and I like it the most, because, you know, it's part of the lives, and I'm not gonna lie to my kids to say the truth, which was a difficult process, but in the same way, I become more father, more friendly of them. They become more close to his daddy, especially me with Georgine as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, because these things, they can make or break relationships, because the grief can be so intense. It can drive couples apart, or it can bring them closer.
In my case, it was better in that way. I become more friendly of Gio. I was of course friend, but I see more lovely for her and for my kids, and I start to see the life with a different perspective. You understand, which is coming the point of, if you're gonna ask me for sure, the pre-season moments.
Yes.
For example, why I didn't go to the pre-season.
Yes, I'm going to come to that. Yeah.
But it was just to finish in that chapter was the most difficult moment. The last, since my dad died, it was this moment that I passed through the last 6 months.
Do you feel your son is with you in spirit? Do you feel
For sure. His ashes is with me, like my daddy. They are here in
my
house. Yes,
that's good.
It's something that I want to hold for the rest of my life. I'm not throw to the ocean or to the sea. I keep with me. They are next to my daddy. I don't know if you check. I have a small church down, and
you do?
Yes, I do.
Like a little chapel?
Yes, chapel, and I keep my daddy and my son.
Do you talk to them?
Yes, I do. I talk with them every time, and that they are in my side. They help me to be a better man, to be a better person, to be a better father. And it's something that I'm really, really proud, that the message that they send me, especially my son.
Amazing. You had an extraordinary reaction from football fans, obviously from Manchester United, but I think you must have been just so surprised by the outpouring of not just support, but Liverpool fans sang on the 7th minute of their next game, "You'll never walk alone." The Kop, the great infamous enemy of Manchester United. What did you feel when you heard that?
I never ever expect that. Never.
Amazing.
I had the opportunity now to say, all English community, thank you a lot for that kind of that they had with me, not only Liverpool, but all England. I felt.
I was at Arsenal when you played, and on the 7th minute, the whole crowd.
I received a letter from the Queen family as well.
Really?
Yes, I do. Which is
From the Queen herself? Or?
yeah, family.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth
Surprised me a
II.
lot.
Offering their condolences.
Yes,
Wow.
unbelievable. This is why I say I respect a lot the English community, English people, because they've been very kind with me, and in that difficult
that's
moment
nice.
of my life was spectacular. The way they treat me and my family in that difficult moments. I should say straight to the crowd and thank you to the all English community that helped me in that moment.
When the Queen sadly died in September, you posted a very nice tribute to her. Was part of the reason because of what they had
Of course.
been like with you?
Of course, they've been so kind of with me, and this is why I did what I did. But it was unbelievable moment. I'm never ever gonna forget that moment.
You have a little girl, Bella. She's 6 months old now. Must be a great joy amid all that terrible sadness.
Unbelievable. It was another member in the family. They are the shine of the house, and we are so proud. Me, Georgina, and all my kids. They are very, very proud for them.
How many kids
They are
does he have?
spectacular, a beautiful girl, and we are so happy. We are so happy. We are happy fathers.
You're going to have more?
I'm not thinking now to thinking more kids. I think we done, but
Okay,
never
they're
know.
done.
The future only God know. But right now we want to have a break to enjoy these ones because they are little. Bella 6 and the rest they are 5 and Cristiano 12. We want to enjoy a little bit of this one.
Yeah, 3
Let's see the
kids.
It's very difficult to play top level football at the best of times. It's a hard business in full public glare of millions of people watching. To have to go back and play after this must have been incredibly hard for you, even with your mental strength. How did you find that?
Difficult, very difficult to play after that. But as I always have good support from my family, and Georgina told me, go to play, go enjoy, to do what you like to do. We're gonna help for you to forget a little bit the situation. It was difficult, but in the same point, I think helps for you to, to don't thinking much about that. Even to training was good, but as you know, the football going so fast, and trainings, games, even the national team, the things going so fast, you don't even have a time to settle and say what's going on, because the things going so fast. But was good. Georgina helped me a lot to give me that possibility to say.
She's a very strong woman.
Yes, she did.
Georgina.
Yes.
I mean, really strong.
Yes.
Just to be your partner is probably not an easy time a lot of the time, with all the attention all the time. But to go through what she's gone through and still get up and be there.
We help each other. But she struggled when she was young, which is she look at life with a different eyes. Even she's young, but she suffer. She born in Argentina. She have his issues with his family as well. She live alone. She have interesting life and histories as well. And she helped me a lot. She's very mature for his age. We help each other. Sometimes when I'm a little bit down, she push me up, and I do it to the other side. So we are a nice couple. We help each other. So I'm really pleased that she's on my side.
Any movement on the wedding bells, Cristiano?
I'm not thinking now about that, but I can see in the future. I think she deserves, but it's something that not coming now in my plans, but in the future, Yes, I won.
เอาไว้ทิ้งฮะ
Coming next, Wayne Rooney, Gary Neville. Ronaldo's got a message for both of you.
Okay. Next.
Four days after this terrible time in your life, United get a new manager, Erik ten Hag. Did you know much about him?
A little bit through Ajax, the job that he did for Ajax.
You end the season with 24 goals for Manchester United, including 18 in the Premier League, 6 in the Champions League. You were second in the Golden Boot for the English football. I mean, by any normal yardstick, that's an incredible performance. And yet you were still getting criticised. It was almost like, well, it's got to be your fault, even though you scored all the goals. Were you as bemused as I was that you were becoming the focal point for the criticism?
I think it's easy to point out
Yeah,
when you
thanks.
want to cover other things. To point out Cristiano Ronaldo, it's easy. Everyone know that press they wanna put me in the first page because they know they will sell more. The interesting will be different.
More clicks.
And I'm used to live like that because I was 37. I know and I learn many things.
ว่าคลิกเพียรไตเติ้ล
When you are in the down of the wave, when you are in the top of the wave, you don't realize and you don't see things that you don't see before, which is I appreciate to have bad moments to see which people is in your side, who criticize you more, because they're looking for that. They don't like to see successful people. The people only try to bring negativism. And I felt the last 4 or 5 months that not only for me, but even for my family as well, for Georgina, especially around the world, the press criticize me even more. Sometimes I don't understand why. Even Portuguese press that they criticize me a lot. I don't understand, but I still believe that the jealousy is part of that. They want to cover many things that helps to shine other things. But listen, Piers, I know I'm 21 years in the top of the game, so I know how it takes. So for me, it's not a problem. It's hard when you are a little bit down to listen to this criticizing.
Do you read it all? Do you read newspapers? Do you read social media?
A good thing that I have, I don't like to read because I know 90% of the times they lie. They are garbage. The press, they are garbage. Not all of them, but most of them. They don't say the truth. And they lie. They constant lie and they constant attack me and my family. They're always negativism against my family. Why I'm gonna read?
I can see why he thinks that way.
To make me feel bad, me and my family, which is something hard to deal. But in the end of the day, I understand. But it's really, really hard.
The problem you have is
top criticism the whole time. So
you are the most followed human being on Instagram. That you have, I just checked, 495 million followers. I have just under 2 million on Instagram.
That's
8
crazy.
million on Twitter, so I'm catching you on Twitter slowly, but 400, you're nearly at 500 million followers on Instagram. I mean, that's insane. You're bigger than all the Kardashians put together.
It's good. It's good. I feel proud for that. It means a lot for me because it means that people like me too. I'm charismatic. I think why I'm the number one. Sometimes I ask that question to myself. Why me and not another one?
Why do you think it is?
To be honest, not just only because I play good football, because everyone knows, but I think the rest is relevant. You have to be charismatic. People have to feel some connection with you. I think to
he
be
talks more.
good
That's why.
looking helps too.
I have the same way.
Obviously.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
To be honest, Piers, I don't know the real reason, but I think I'm charismatic and I'm a appetitive fruit. I don't know if we
A what?
a fruit that
yeah.
people want to bite.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
how you can say in English.
Any particular fruit or?
Let's
Nice
say
peach.
strawberry. But I don't know the reason.
I mean, what's incredible to me is the power you have.
Appetite fruit.
Appetite fruit.
I don't know if it makes sense in English, but if it don't make sense, you learn.
I'll research appetite fruit, yeah. Okay. I mean, I have a pinned tweet, and it's you telling me I have good abdominals, which is a very good observation, by the way. And it's only 10 seconds long. It's had 43 million views, this clip. So thank you. Because 43 million people have heard the guy who actually has got good abdominals tell me I've got good abdominals. But it showed me the sheer firepower you have in that world of social media.
Also influence.
Is what I told you before. I have good things, which is you can sell your own product, let's say in that way, but you have to deal with many obstacles in your life too.
Do you care if people hate you? I mean, a lot of people love you, but obviously a lot of people don't. You're so big, you're going to get both. But do you care about the ones who hate Cristiano Ronaldo?
I care the people who like me. I'm not waste time for the people who don't like me. I think it's waste of time. These people, they are not interesting on my life. I like to be around the people who love me. I don't waste my time to
Yes, basically
people who is next to me, ex-players, for example.
I mean, one of your biggest critics has been, and I'm surprised about this.
Me too.
Wayne Rooney,
for example,
who you played with for many years very successfully,
Rooney.
and were good friends with him.
What did he say?
All this year, 3 or 4 times, he's come out and attacked you in the media.
Piers, I don't understand. You should ask this question to him, but I don't know. I don't know why he criticized me so bad, or I don't believe that he's jealous of me.
He says your behaviour is unacceptable. United should sell you. Blah 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 blah.
Behavior.
It's Wayne Rooney.
It surprised me. It was 1 year ago or 6 months ago here in my house. He pick up his kids here and invite Cristiano to go to his house to play football. I really don't understand people like that, or if they wanna be in the cover of the paper, of the news, or they want a new jobs or whatever.
Is it jealousy as well, perhaps, that you're still playing and still in the Man United?
Probably, because he finished his career with 30s. So I'm still playing high level. I'm not going to say that I'm looking better than him, which is true, but... but
that is inarguable. I mean, there's no contest.
It's hard to listen that kind of criticize and negative about people who play with you. For example, Gary Neville as well.
Yeah, I mean, Gary Neville, you blanked him the other day on the pitch, and he looked quite upset, actually, because he obviously likes being your friend, but he's been pretty critical of you as well.
People can have his own opinion, but they don't really know what's going on, for example, inside the training ground and even my life. They should listen not only one point of view, they have to listen to my point of view as well, because it's easy to criticize, but if you don't know the old story, it's easy, you know. But it's, Piers, as I say before, it's part of...
Are they still friends of yours, or do you have a line where...
They are not my friends. They are colleagues. We play together. They're not coming... We not have a dinner together, for example. But as I told you, Piers, before, it's part of my journey. They keep criticize me, negativism every time. So I continue my trip, and I have to catch up the people who like me.
Some of your ex-colleagues have been incredibly supportive. Rio Ferdinand has always got your back. Roy Keane always has your back. Whatever happens, he's always supported you and has continued to do so. Does that mean a lot to you?
It means a lot, because I was in the dressing room with them. They are part of my journey in football as well. As I mentioned many times, Roy Keane for me was my best captain ever. Rio Ferdinand helped me a lot. He was my neighbor, I was his neighbor. So very, very good guys. Not just because they speak good about me, but they was there in the dressing room. They are football players. They know how players thinking and the behaves, etc. And to listen ex colleagues or teammates to criticize you and they only see one point of view.
Do you feel do you feel a bit betrayed when they do that? Because you played together.
It's easy to criticize. I don't know if they have a job in television that they must criticize to be more famous. I really don't understand.
Do you think they use your name a bit to get attention?
I think they take advantage of that because they are not stupid. And I really understand, and I have to carry on with my life with criticize or when the people speak good about you. It's hard when you see people who was in the dressing room with you criticize you in that way.
It must hurt you.
It's not good. Yes, I did, but not hard. I'm not gonna be more slim. I'm not gonna sleep bad because of the criticize. But it's not good to listen that.
Disappointing.
A little bit, yes, disappointing.
Next on Uncensored, expect fireworks in the explosive second half of my 90 minutes with Ronaldo. Your
90
baby
minutes.
daughter's in hospital.
And the president of Manchester United didn't believe the empathy don't exist. They don't care about the club.
What would your message be to Manchester United fans?
The fans, for me, will be always in my heart.
He was deliberately provoking you.
I didn't felt that he had respect for me.
Cristiano Ronaldo's 12 rules to life.
Why not? Imagine the rest of the rats, they're going to criticize me too.
Jordan Peterson.
I'm just trying to work out how Wayne Rooney could hate you even more.
They only speak about the black sheep, which is me.
They're trying to force you out.
Yes, not only the coach, but the other 2 or 3 guys there around the club. Yes, I feel betrayed. If you don't have respect for me, I'm never going to have respect for you.
This is spoilers.
Have a chance?
I have a chance beside Portugal, in my opinion.
That's it, you retire, right?
Yeah, I retired. 100%.
Okay, nice cut.
You won't want to miss it. Whatever you're up to, keep it uncensored.
I was there to discuss the problems. Just kind of glazing over the problem, addressing it. Yes, was he tasted in part 2. It should be good conversation to. Isa bito de panong sense bito.